Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be telling you guys my 15 and pregnant story, how I found out, how my boyfriend found out at the time, and how my mom found out. I'm going to ask, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and go check out my other videos on my channel, please. Well, let's get right into this video. This video is a little emotional to me. I'm not going to get into too much detail with every single story that adds up to this one story. And you'll see what I mean as I start telling the story, only because this is mainly just how I found out, how I told my parents and my boyfriend, and yeah, that's basically it. So the way I found out was, one day I had told my cousin while we were at school, I think I'm pregnant, and she was like, really? Well, let's go to the clinic. So she was like, let's go to this WIC office where I know has a clinic and we could get a pregnancy test. After school, we took the bus to this clinic, and oh my goodness, this clinic had us waiting for almost 2 hours straight before we got called back. Eventually we got called back, and I took my pregnancy test. I was all giggles and just laughing, like, oh, I'm not pregnant, da, 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 da. Like, I'm just scaring myself, like, nah, I'm not pregnant. Okay, well, then, like, about 10 minutes later, the nurse came in and was like, you're pregnant, your test was positive. And I was just like, really? Like, are you sure? Like, let's take blood, make sure it's more accurate. Like, no, I don't think it's really positive. And she was like, no, you're pregnant, you really are, you're pregnant. That's basically just it. She told me. So she gave me a paper, and she was like, you need to start making appointments for OBGYN because we don't know how far you are. So they gave me the paper to confirm, like, the proof of pregnancy. They gave me that, and me and my cousin were like, so do we go tell Carlos, or what should we do? And she was like, oh, well, let's just go tell Carlos. And I didn't really want to call his mom. Me and his mom don't connect like that, and it's been like that since basically day one. That's a whole different story. But we went on the bus to his house, and when we got there, we went and knocked on his door. They said he wasn't there, so I went to his cousin's house, and they said that he wasn't there either. But he was at home. He was in the bathroom, I guess, and they didn't know he was in the bathroom. So when I was walking back from his cousin's house, he came out, and he was like, Alexis, and I looked, and he was him. And my cousin had crossed the street so I could go tell him. And when I went up to him, I was like, Carlos, I'm pregnant. And he was just like, you're pregnant again? And I was like, yeah, like, that's what happens when you have sex. And he was just like, okay, are you sure? And I was just like, yeah. And I gave him paper, and he looked at it, and I was like, look, it says positive, like, I'm pregnant. Like, I looked at him, and I was like, so what now? Because at this point, like, our relationship was getting a little bit rocky. One, he was wanting to be a teenager, so he wanted to start having his space. And okay, that's not my problem, like, do you? But you do realize that we do have a kid together, and she does not only need me, she needs you too. You can't come in and out of her life. Not that he was really coming in and out of her life, but, like, she needed him around for the holidays. She needed him around to see her. He was like, well, you're pregnant, so I'm gonna be here for you. And I was like, I heard that before. And I just went home. So anyways, I got home, and a little background, I was not taken, but I was given to my uncle to go to school with because my mom was bouncing house to house. But I lived with my uncle from 5 to almost 10 years old, and before I hit 10, I moved in. I was taken, and I was placed in a foster home for about a year, and I got back with my mom right after turning 11. My mom was mad at him, at my uncle that had gotten out of prison, and he stopped by where my great-grandma lived, and was not that far from my house, maybe 5 houses down from my house. So when I got there, I walked to my great-grandma's because I noticed she wasn't home. And she was outside talking to him. And when I seen her talking to him, like, I had too much respect for him. But it hurt me because I see my mom talking to him, and I knew, like, she was mad at him for a reason, and it just felt like she betrayed me. I'm not sure if you guys will understand. It probably doesn't make sense to you. Whatever happened with me didn't matter anymore. I do have a grudge over my mom. I am able to talk to my mom. My mom's my world, but I do have a grudge from what had happened in the past. I need to talk to you. And she was like, yeah, I'll be there in a couple minutes. Like, I'm talking to your uncle right now. I was like, well, then just come home. And she was like, I will in a couple minutes. Like, what do you need now? That's why I'm fucking pregnant again. And she was like, what? And my uncle was like, Alexis, what? Like, why are you talking like that? Like, because he remembered me, an angel. I was straight A student. I never cussed. I was a good kid when I was living with him. So it was just like, what? Like, it was a shock to him, and I didn't give a fuck what he had to say. Like, I'm sorry, but I didn't care what he had to say at the time. I was just so mad, and my focus was on my mom. Like, how are you talking to him? Okay, well, anyways, I walked home, and I went inside, and she came maybe not about 15-20 minutes later. She came, and she, like, didn't say nothing to me. She just got in the bath, and I walked in, and I was like, I have something to tell you. And she was like, well, I think I already know. And she's like, are you serious? And I was like, yeah. And I had the papers in my hand, and she just broke down. I started like crying too, but I didn't know what to say. She was like, are you serious, Alexis? Like, how could you do this? Like, this was the dumbest thing you could have did. Like, I love my grandbaby that's coming, but why would you do this? You're only 15. Like, she's like, you don't think it hurts me? It hurts me seeing my baby hurt when you're going through labor. It hurts me. It hurts me seeing you stress over your baby's father. It hurts me. Like, and I was like, I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, but I'm sorry. Like, that's all I could say. It felt so weird. Like, she was there. She's been there for me with my first baby, so it was like, I didn't want to put another stress on her. So I just stressed about this whole pregnancy, and I was just so much denial with it, and like to the point where I wouldn't buy nothing for him. Like, every money I got, I would just spend it on my daughter I had. So fast forward to the time I went to the clinic. I went to the clinic, and I found out I was like 3 months pregnant, and but probably like a month later, I had found out I had diabetes. I had got diabetes with this pregnancy, and I had to take a lot of those stress tests. Like, my baby was considered a stress baby. They told me that if you don't calm down and everything, then it's gonna be worse. And if you guys do know that I did fall into depression. I did fall into depression after I had my first baby. So the depression and what was going on with everything, and it was all mixing together, and it wasn't a good mix. I had told my baby's father, like, I had got diabetes, and he was scared, but it didn't change his acts. And he just like started being more distant. When I would call him and ask him, like, are you gonna come today? Like you said you were last week, we planned for today. And he was like, yeah, I'll be there. And mind you, I called him like at 9 in the morning, and just to make sure, so I could get ready. And I would get all ready. I would get his daughter ready, and I would just be so happy, like, I'm gonna see him again. I love to be around him. And he wouldn't come. He would never show up. And I would call his house, and they would say, he's not here, he left. He left with his friend, sorry. His friend came, and he left. So sometimes when they would tell me he left, I would think, oh, maybe he's on his way to his house. And they were like, no, he left probably like almost 3 hours ago. So I knew he wasn't coming. Sorry, but I knew he wasn't coming, and I would just go to sleep. Nothing I could do. So around 11 o'clock, I guess he would show up, and my mom would be like, oh, she's asleep now. Like, I'm not waking her up, and it's done now. Like, you're fucked up. You're doing this to my daughter. And he would just like, well, can you wake her up just so I can say like hi and give her a kiss, and I'll go home. And she's like, no, I'm not waking her up. So he would go home, and I would wake up the next morning, like, did Carlos come? Like, check my phone, see if he called from his house phone. But my mom would be like, Carlos came like around 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, midnight, and it would just hurt me. Like, fast forward to the time now, I'm going to go find out what I'm having. It was me, my mom, my mom's wife, and my daughter that went to the clinic. My mom went back there with me when we got called back, and we found out it was a boy. I was excited. We were all excited, but mind you, I was still in denial. So we found out I was having a boy. I went home to my baby's father. I was having a boy. I played with him for a minute. I told him I was having twins, and then I told him I was having a girl, and then I finally told him I was having a boy. And when I started going to my OBGYN more frequently, they had noticed that something was going on with my diabetes, with my stress, and everything was starting to affect the baby. So they started sending me to this dietitian clinic. Like once every 2 weeks I will go, and that's where they'll check my diabetes. That's where they would check my baby, like measuring and everything. That's where they will go more in deep into my pregnancy. I can't really help my stress. I can't really help my depression. It comes when it wants and it leaves when it wants. I have no say over it. And yes, I still do have depression, but I have no say over it. So that wasn't really much I could do. Now my diet, as far as that is, I didn't have an appetite. I was just so stressed, and it started coming like everything was just coming all at once, where I was just like, I'm done. Like, I don't want to do this no more. I'm tired. I'm tired of always being tired. Like, I didn't know what to do, so I tried to like get out of it. And like when my depression would hit, I would just try to like my hardest to fight it. So let's fast forward to June 5th. I had my baby June 6th. I told my aunt, can you go with me to the stores and go find his coming home outfit? And she was like, yeah, of course. I went to Marshall's, and at Marshall's, I had to use the bathroom. And so I went pee, and sorry, TMI, but I went pee, and I felt like, okay, I was done peeing, and I felt like a gush. Not a big gush, but a gush. Because I felt something thick, like something flop, like you could hear something plop out, like in the toilet or whatever, sorry. But, so I looked in, and I was just like, what the fuck is that? Because I never had my mucus plug popped out with, like, never had that problem with my daughter. I went and told my aunt, like, something just came out, and it was like, looked gooey or whatever, and she was like, I think that was your mucus plug, like, and I was like, no, I need to find an outfit. I need him to have something just in case it's time. And she was like, okay. Went to Target, and after we walked out of Target, I sat down on the little box. I needed to take a break, and I went numb. From the waist down, I just went numb. My stomach was in pain, like, I was contracting, like, bad. But I was like, okay, so my mom and him and my mom's wife came and picked us up. And she's like, my mom was like freaking out. She's like, are you okay? And I was like, no, it's hurting me and I can't walk. So they were helping me get into the car and everything. And we went to the hospital where I was going to be delivering. I was having fluid coming out and I didn't know what it was. And they were like, well, it's your water bag. Your water bag didn't fully pop, but your water bag does have a tear in it. So we're not letting you go home. You will be having a baby tonight or tomorrow morning. And I was like, okay. So I called my baby's father, and he was asleep around this time. Around this time, everything was around maybe almost 10 o'clock now. Almost going to be 11 o'clock. So I called, and his mom answered, and I was like, can I talk to Carlos? She's like, well, he's asleep. And she didn't really want to wake him up, but so I told him, like, well, I'm having my baby. And so she was like, okay. So she woke him up, and he was like, what happened? And I was like, I'm in the hospital, and I'm already going into labor. And he was like, are you sure? And I was like, yes. And he got there, like, maybe 30 minutes later, he got there. And I had my baby. They noticed that he was having a breathing problem. And it wasn't just from him adjusting to being out. It was a real breathing problem. So they took him to the NICU, and he was in the NICU for 3 days. Well, ever since then, my baby was diagnosed. He's delayed. He's 4 years old now. He just turned 4 years old the 7th of June. And yeah, he's delayed. Yeah, that was how I found out and everything. Sorry if this video is long, but if you guys enjoyed it, please give this video a thumbs up. If you guys like to hear anything else, don't hesitate. Leave it in the comments down below. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Say bye, Mom Much. Bye, guys.